Hi, thanks for joining me today. This is Katie Clark, Director of Teaching and Learning here in the school district. This podcast is for anyone who is completing an evaluation. Perhaps it is for a paraprofessional or a secretary or cooks, custodians, or other support personnel throughout the district. The first thing you're going to want to do is to navigate to your Frontline account and go ahead and sign in. Once you're signed in, you may be under the My Info tab, and you'll be able to see your own personal evaluations that supervisors have completed on you. For this demonstration, I'm using Vicki Lord Anderson. When Vicki Lord Anderson goes to My Info, she is able to see her actual pre-observation and her observation that was completed this year. And by clicking these buttons, she would be able to see the content associated with that. For purposes today, we're going to look at how to navigate to a second tab that will allow you to find the people you are responsible for completing evaluations with. So on the left side of the screen, you're going to navigate to a tab called Evaluations. And I like to go to the process view. Here in the process view, you will be able to identify people who have been assigned to you. In this instance, Vicki is responsible for completing reviews for two paraprofessionals, Eric Morales Vicente and Lori Sandhurst. You can see the evaluation period is for this school year, and currently there is 0 out of 1 progress because the evaluation has not been completed. She will click on the name of the first individual, and you may also have secretary or cook or somebody else who you are evaluating. This pulls in the paraprofessional for this first employee. When you click the plus sign, it will open up so that you'll actually be able to see where the rubric is at. Currently, you can see this review or evaluation is incomplete. It is also not scheduled, and unless you have a high number of individuals that you need to complete reviews on, I recommend not using this scheduling tool. What you need to do is to go to this box that says Complete Paraprofessional Evaluation. If you are evaluating a secretary, a custodian, a cook, or other district support personnel, you will also click this box. Everyone in the system is correlated with the type of job function that they have, and so there are different rubrics and different evaluations for various job types. The one piece that is the same for paraprofessional evaluations that was in the past is that the content in the rubric that you are being asked to complete is the same. When you look at the top part with the user information, you'll see the employee's name, their building number, and some other critical information. Once you have completed the evaluation, you will see the date that you submitted it, the date that the employee acknowledged it, and the date that it was finalized. To complete the evaluation, you'll scroll down to the Job Duties area. In this area, it discusses the importance of the main job responsibilities. You are asked to read through these bullet points and to make the most accurate rating that coincides with their job performance in that specific area. You will continue doing this for the remainder areas of the job duties. You then go down to job-related behaviors. Again, this box will help give you some information around what that will look like. Under the Commitment to Service area, again, you are asked to read the bullet points and fill in the point that most closely resembles their job-related behaviors. When you have completed the rubric portion, there is some area for some open-ended comments. Some employees have a professional development plan. Please discuss this with the employee that you are talking with. Some employees are working on some coursework to become a teacher or seek out another profession. Others have interest in growing and developing in a particular area. Please take note of those in this box. If there is nothing that the employee can report, you can type in not applicable. You are also asked to discuss areas of strength and areas of growth of the employee. Area of strength can be easy for the great things that our employees are doing. Areas of growth can be a little bit more tricky to write about. I encourage staff and supervisors to be strategic and thoughtful about the verbiage and words that are used in this specific area. Starting sentences or phrases out with things like, one area this employee can become even more effective is, and fill in the rest of the sentence. Or, I encourage this employee to X, Y, and Z, period, to put it in a positive spin and a positive light on that. You also are allowed to add additional comments at the bottom. Once you have completed all of this, you will click the Save button. Once you click the Submit button, the employee will be able to view your form. You do not want the employee to be able to view your form until you sit down and meet with them and go through the form. So what you need to do first is to click the Save button. Then you will be asked, you can either print a copy of this off, find a time when the two of you can sit down and meet and go through it, or you can pull this up digitally on your device to go through it with the employee. Once you and the employee have reviewed the form, you will come back to Frontline and then you will click the Submit button. Once you click the Submit button, the employee will be able to view the form. They will go in and be able to acknowledge it, and it will come back to you to approve that. I did send out an email, and this can also be found on the Staff Resources site on the school district webpage. This is some FAQs, some guidance, some ideas and procedures of completing the peer review process. These supports will help you, assist you in addition to this video. So the first thing you want to do is to contact the para and let them know that you are responsible for completing their review. I did meet with all paraprofessionals before Christmas break and helps them get logged into Frontline. So all paras are able to log in. They are all able to navigate to find where their review will be located. You will log in and complete the review as I went through earlier in the video. Step 3 of the directions is what we already covered about not clicking Submit until you meet with the paraprofessional. Some paraprofessionals report to or work with several teachers. If you are the teacher assigned to complete the review, but the paraprofessional is assigned to several teachers, please get input and feedback from the other teachers and incorporate that content into the review. I'll also share a few tips for conducting paraprofessional reviews. Here, we'll start with the logistics first. What if the paraprofessional cannot log into Frontline? You will probably be the first person that they report this to. I did share with them during the training that the Department of Teaching and Learning does not have access to their usernames or logins or passwords. They will need to navigate to the front page of the Frontline site and click the Forgot Password or Forgot Username link and work through their school district email to re-obtain their password. Paraprofessional reviews do need to be completed within the paraprofessional's assigned work hours. You may need to visit with a teacher to have them released for 10 minutes from their duty, or double check with a building administrator to find an appropriate time that you'll be able to do this with them. Oftentimes people ask me if they need their administrator's approval before submitting the rubric. You do not need to have your administrator's approval, and generally people will go through, complete it, meet with the paraprofessional, sign and submit it, and the process is over. In some instances, a teacher may have a concern about a paraprofessional. In that instance, I do ask that you go visit with your building administrator, share with them the concerns that you intend to share with the paraprofessional, and the building administrators are really great resources to be able to coach you through some language and how to address any difficult conversations with them. The rule of thumb I use is if I'm going to have a conversation with a teacher who may become upset that would end up in reporting it to their principal, it may be a good idea for you to give the principal a heads up. This year, our reviews will be completed between January 3rd and February 15th, so you have about a 6-week time period to complete that. The remainder of the document, the 6 and 7, we have visited about earlier in the podcast, and actually, I think 8 as well. I do want to just take a quick moment to talk about number 9, that we're all busy and want time free of distractions. Please find a quiet place in the school building that you can meet with them. Close the door, turn off your cell phone, have a focused conversation. They are looking forward to this visit with you to learn about the great things that they are doing and to find out how they can become even more effective professionals with our students and staff. If you do have further questions that the podcast or that the fact sheet does not address, you can feel free to contact me, Katie Clark, or our administrative assistant in the Department of Teaching and Learning, Karina Ramirez. Thanks and have a great day.